day. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 24 minutes after 7 o'clock, and joining us this morning from the Eastern New Mexico State Fair Board, Leslie Robertson, back with us. It's been a while, but how are you doing today?
It's been about a year.
It's been about a year, yeah.
I'm doing well. How are you today?
Doing good, doing good. Well, exciting news. We are, about a week away, full on from the Eastern New
10-ish
Mexico.
days from the official start date.
Really, Monday is like the 1 week out mark.
Yes.
But, but that this weekend, and next week here is going to get hot and heavy busy with the preemptive fair stuff.
Absolutely.
For folks that are going to be competing in the arts and crafts and, pretty much any of the shows. I mean, the animals and stuff they'll start bringing in next weekend. But like your foods and your arts and crafts and all the stuff that doesn't have to do with things with fur or feathers on it.
Yes, no fur or feathers yet. Hold those.
Yes. That's going to be this weekend and these next few days here.
Yes. So today, tomorrow, and Sunday, if you have arts and crafts, bring them down to the fairgrounds. This is the only weekend you can enter. And every year we have somebody who calls on like Wednesday and says, "Can I bring my painting?" Or by that time, everything's placed,
it's been judged,
all
and
the things. So it has to be this weekend.
Yeah, it's to be honest, all of the stuff has already happened once the fair starts.
Once we open the gates on Monday.
Yeah, at that point, your arts and crafts are now for the public to view and see. And
you're exactly right.
Sometimes people buy stuff too. That's happened from time to time. But so when you get there to go ride the rides and see the livestock shows and all that, the judging and all of the competition side has already happened.
Exactly.
So that's all happening this weekend. So if you've been hankering to turn in something for the fair, whether it's on the clothing or the sewing and the home ec side, or the fire up the oven or the grill here and start getting to cooking and baking and things, or if you're growing ginormous pumpkins or something like that, this is the weekend to do all that.
This is the weekend for arts and crafts, except for the baking.
Okay, the baking. Oh, that makes sense.
Baking's next Saturday.
That makes sense.
Now it's not going to look so great when the public comes in to see
Here's
it.
my week-old pie.
Right.
Judge it.
Yes, have a bite.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
So 9 to 6 today, 9 to 6 tomorrow.
Okay.
And then 1 to 6 on Sunday.
Okay.
That's for the arts and crafts. Baking is next Saturday.
Okay.
From 9 to noon only.
Good, and that's a smaller window because obviously freshness is of the essence in that particular category. But my best suggestion for folks, especially if you're kind of behind the ball on getting projects done. I mean, sewing and stuff, unless you've done it recently and want to turn it in. But if you go to the fair's website, it's got the fair book there, and that's your official resource for all things fair when it comes to not only what time concerts are and things like that, but how judging's done, what are the requirements and rules and things to enter the various contests and things like that. What's required by you. So go to the website. It's real easy to remember. If you know Eastern New Mexico State Fair, it's the initials.
There you go.
ENMSF.com. You go there and it takes you right to the fair. One of your options, I believe, at the top there is Fair Book. You click that, and it's got everything you need.
And we've made it a little bit easier to navigate this year. So the fair book itself is broken down. So if you are interested in entering your arts and crafts, you don't necessarily have to scroll through the parade information. Everything's on its own separate tab this year. To make
so
it
it's a little easier to navigate and find and stuff. So, but if you got time, go ahead and peruse a lot of that stuff.
Yes.
That way you can kind of get a inside scoop on all the different events and all the different activities and things that are making up this year's Eastern New Mexico State Fair, which celebrating
100 years.
100 this year, by
not
the
me
way.
personally, but the fair itself, 100 years. We're very excited about
just tell people you're 100. People are like, no way.
Great.
You're going to be like Cher whenever walk around and everyone's like,
immortal.
Cher hasn't changed in 30 years.
That's great. And the arts and crafts, everybody always thinks about the sewing and the painting and things like that. And absolutely, we have some very talented artists in Roswell. But there's also, models count as arts and crafts.
Yeah.
The Lego sets count as arts and crafts. Scrapbooking. Like, there's so much more to the arts and crafts department that people don't think of with their hobbies and things like that.
Absolutely.
So,
By the way, I hear that the model railroaders are looking for some new blood to come and be a part of their organization. So if you're really into that, when you're out at the fair next week,
Starting October 3rd.
October 3rd. My dates in my head are messed up. Like, what is next week September still? Or I don't know.
It's a mess right now. It just blends together.
But when you're out there at the fair, be sure to go visit the education building and, of course, see all the stuff we're talking about. But there is that model railroaders. They call that place home all year round.
All year.
Yeah. So even when there's not fair going on, they're in there working on their next rail tracks and
Absolutely
ideas and things like that. But it's a lot of people that have been doing it for a long time, and let's face it, we get older and things happen.
We need some young blood.
So we need some fresh recruits to kind of take over the hobby and expand on that. So if you're interested, come talk to them out at the fair this week. But same thing with the other stuff too. That education building, that's why I tell everybody, I think it's kind of the most underrated building at the fair.
And it's historic. There's a lot of talent in there as well, and
Absolutely.
a lot of things that have been around for a long time.
But a lot of people just seem to skip it for something. They'll go on to a livestock show or the commercial building, or come out and eat a bunch of food and ride rides, and not walk through the education building. And some of the coolest things you'll find at the fair are in that building, and that's anything from the ginormous pumpkins to all the different arts and crafts. And the part that I love is when you get into the rooms that have the artwork and things on it. Half the challenge for me is to just determine, like you look at artwork and it's beautiful, and then you look at a 9-year-old did it.
Exactly.
And then you look at another one and it looks equally beautiful and it's done by an adult, and you're like, man, I can't tell who's the kids and who's the adults.
A lot of talent.
And it's really cool. So for me, that's kind of the fun. It's like, man, look at this painting. Oh, a 9-year-old did that. That's amazing. And or you see just various crafts and things in there. It really is pretty impressive. And most people just get, they load up on corn dogs and spin around puke rides and then go home.
Which,
It's fine.
shout out for that too, because that's a pretty important part of the fair.
Absolutely.
But there's more to it.
Absolutely. So come, please, when make some time before you load up with the food or whatever and get too sluggish. Definitely, walk through that area and see. You could easily spend hours in that building.
Oh, absolutely.
And by the way, there's swamp coolers and it's air conditioned. So in those times when it's like pretty warm out and you're ready to get in and cool off a little bit, good place to hang out and cool off for a little bit.
Absolutely.
Too. So, yeah. But again, the fair book is your best resource if you're what's the different categories of all the different types of sewing and things and food stuff. That's where the fair book has got every category, so if you're wanting to enter one specific event, or if you want to enter in a series of events or things like that, the fair book will tell you how to do all
Absolutely.
of that.
It'll tell you the things like, don't just bring your picture that you took, your photograph. It has to be mounted a certain way. So before you get to the fairgrounds and realize, oh no, I needed to have this on, the mount board or whatever it is. You go to the fair book, it'll tell you exactly what to do. Same thing with baking. You have to bring so many cookies because there has to be some for display and some for the judge to try. So make sure if you're going to enter any of those things, you check out the fair book first.
Yeah, because even if you have the best quality thing, if you didn't do the rules correctly, you're disqualified.
Right.
And that's unfortunate.
We don't want that at all. There's a lot of great prizes to be had.
Absolutely.
So.
I've used to judge. I have judged like Kansas City Barbecue Society judging those kind. I've done that before, and I've seen where people had, like they used the wrong kind of like they put parsley or something there to present. But there's certain ones in that world that you're allowed to use, and certain types of lettuce you're not, and people didn't pay attention, and they put that wrong lettuce in, and it's like, they have beautiful ribs here, but we can't judge them because they got the wrong kind of lettuce in here.
Right.
I know it's silly, but that's the semantics of the rules.
Right.
And that's part of the competition. Can you pay attention to detail? That's
and
part
the
of it.
prize is $100 for best of show. So you want to make sure that you have an opportunity to get in on that, especially, like I said, very talented people in Roswell.
Absolutely.
So,
and really it's to keep it the same, to be like especially like the photography and the painting and that type of thing. If you're getting the high dollar framing or doing something that goes above and beyond to enhance the picture, that might give someone an unfair advantage.
Right.
So to keep that based judging solely on the content of the picture as opposed to how much you spend at Hobby Lobby on a frame.
right.
This is why they got to do
The
that.
frame wins.
So that's kind of the logic behind that. So.
But the volunteers in the arts and crafts department, they are out there getting ready for all of our participants to come in. Michelle Hembry and her team out there.
Good.
Countless tireless hours of accepting those entries. There's not right now, currently this year, there is not an online entry form for arts and crafts.
Okay.
You just bring your item the way it needs to be presented, and the volunteers in the arts and crafts building will help with the entry form, entry process. It's a $5 entry fee.
Okay.
For the opportunity to win up to $100.
Absolutely.
So pretty good bet right there.
Absolutely. And let's face it, the money that's collected for entry fees and all, this all goes back to the kids and the fair and the programs.
Keeps
and
everything
things.
going.
It keeps the tradition of the Eastern New Mexico State Fair going on for long after we're gone off this earth.
Absolutely.
So that's what it's about. And it's about, it's the world's getting back to normal a little bit where things are going, but the Eastern Mexico State Fair and things would come like last year. Came home to the livestock side of the things. They had to bring all that down here last year, and they're back up north this year and all that. But that's tradition of here. That's even when COVID's hitting, we're still farming and ranching. We're still doing the things that the fair kind of showcase.
Right.
And that's this is life in this part of the world here, and so we need to preserve and need to. Make sure the next generations are doing the same good stewardship to the things we do.
To our
here,
resources
too.
and things, absolutely.
So that's what, at the end of the day, that's what the fair promotes that lifestyle. And,
Absolutely.
And oh, by the way, we're going to promote it by having you come down and eat a bunch of cool food and ride rides. And
Well, along with the ag tradition, there's the community tradition.
Exactly.
So even if you're not growing livestock or whatever, come down and have the corn dogs and the funnel cakes and ride until you get sick. But the fair is something that all of Roswell does.
Absolutely.
So you see your neighbors out there. You see people you haven't seen in a while. Everybody comes out to the fair. So there's a real sense of community there.
And we're going to have more fair folks coming in over between now and the start of the Eastern Mexico State Fair, talking about some of the various other entertainment
parade,
senior day, things like that kind of stuff, which again, you don't have to wait for us to tell you about it. You can find it all in the fair book. Again, just go to the Eastern New Mexico State Fair's website, www.enmsf.com.
And Facebook.
And Facebook as well. That's another thing too.
Also.
You can or you can go to the Facebook page and get, and to be honest, especially the week of the fair, that is the best resource for any updates to the fair. Like if there's a weather-related issue or even lost kids and stuff like that, it is a resource for that kind of stuff. So
speaking of lost kids,
yes,
we get them every year.
Mm-hmm.
Smart idea. Take a picture of your kiddo before you come on grounds. That way you know exactly what they were wearing.
The clothes they're wearing that day.
That's
and everything.
The one.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you think, well, was that today or was that yesterday?
Right.
So this way, if we do have a kiddo that we need to put all eyes on the lookout for, we can give an accurate description of what they're wearing.
Absolutely.
Also, Travis County Search and Rescue will be in the commercial building again doing the armbands for the kiddo.
Oh, good.
So you can put your phone number on there, and then that way, if your child gets turned into us,
someone can call directly. Yeah,
we can call you directly.
Or some concerned citizen sees your child and call you and tell you. Yeah, absolutely.
So, and then again, I would, when you walk on grounds, this is Mama talking here. When you walk on grounds, find those safe spaces and tell your kiddo, if we get separated, here's the sheriff command post.
Mm-hmm.
This is a safe place to go. This is the office. Go in and see the ladies in there. They'll keep you safe until we come find you.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's have that plan.
Yes.
And even if it's like, okay, if we all get separated and you're like, where to go? Let's all know to meet at the ice cream shop or meet at some central location that everyone's on board with or something. So but have that plan before you go through the gates of the fairgrounds here. And like Leslie's saying, is take that picture.
Mm-hmm.
We all got our smartphones now. It's real easy. When your kids in the shorts and t-shirts and things are wearing at the fairgrounds, that way you say, kids wearing this blue shirt, these red shorts, he's walking around. Last time I saw him, he's over by the Ferris wheel.
And then we can also, we have the capability to send that out to the different first responders that are on grounds, our board members, our superintendents, if we have that picture, I can shoot that out to everybody.
The fair has a very well-oiled process that because like it happens every year, a couple times it's kind of expected. There's always a kid because it's a fair. There's 30 things to distract people, and next thing you know, you turn around and everyone's gone, and you've been staring at a corn dog or something for 5 minutes, so it happens all the time. And so they have a very just a process that works, because what happens as soon as reported, gates are shut down, so people can't. That way, the child can't just walk off.
Yes. So if we ever have to go into full alert, please be patient.
Yeah.
It's we take our missing kiddos very, very seriously there.
Yes.
So sometimes we go a little bit overboard.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd rather do it that way.
Absolutely. We'd rather go overkill, and it was no big deal than not treat it seriously and something tragic happens.
Now, your teenagers, if they're big enough that you're going to drop them off and say, hey, go to the carnival, we're not going to go on full alert for them, because I guarantee they are still on a ride somewhere, even though they were supposed to meet you 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, they do what they want. I do what I want. You think you do.
Right. And our paging system out there, all the time we have parents come in, can you page my 14-year-old? It's a carnival. They can't hear the PA system for things like that.
It's shouting into the wind.
It really is.
Yeah.
So
it's just make sure that they keep tabs on their phones, so when you text or call them, that they respond back to you.
Right.
But also take advantage of the fair book, not just for these different information about entering and all that, but that way you can learn the information, like on the days you can get in for free, depending on, if you're a veteran or a senior or a student or whatever, these kinds of, take advantage of those special days and things like that, where you get to do. And a lot of times too, they'll have special events that are associated with those days that you can't do other days.
Exactly.
So like senior day, there's going to be some events that you can't do on Friday, for instance, and vice versa. So the fair book is probably, before you come out to the fair, you spend this next week just kind of rifling through the fair book and just seeing the different types of entertainment. If there's a certain concert that you want to make sure you don't miss, which, by the way, I think all the concerts are free with the admission to the fair.
Once you pay to get on the fairgrounds, it's pretty much, now, of course, there's the carnival armband pricing and the food pricing and things like that. But as far as our concerts, free with the fair.
Yeah.
We have Dan the Farmer Man. He's going to be entertaining the kiddos. That's free with the fair. There may be a strolling mythical creature type dragon. Okay. So be on the lookout for dragons.
Can he heat my food for me?
Possibly.
I just hold marshmallow on a stick and see if
Take one just in case.
Have one handy.
You want to be prepared.
Sure.
You'd hate to regret not having your marshmallow when the dragon comes by.
I'd rather need it not, or have it not need it than need it not have it.
Exactly right.
But yeah, the fair is always just a fun week. It just is a lot going on. I guarantee it'll rain at least once during the week. It just
Probably
does.
So. We just kind of invite that in, and it's difficult.
And there's going to be a day where it's 100 degrees. That's just a guarantee.
Check the weather before you come out. And also the website, invaluable resource, but it's constantly evolving. So even though you check it today, we are constantly adding things. So make sure that you frequently check Facebook and the website, because things are being added every day.
Okay, yeah, very good. That's why we say like on Facebook and all that, because if it just changes too. And then something happens, weather event, we had to delay the show an hour or whatever, things, or someone's plane didn't make it, so we're gonna have to reschedule and things.
Lots of moving pieces.
There's always a few logistics thing happening there, but I'd also just throw this little caveat, for future years. If you love the fair and love doing, they're always looking for volunteers to serve as a part of the fair, if not directly on the board itself, volunteering for the various committees or various projects that go on, because just the Eastern New Mexico State Fairgrounds is busy 24/7.
And most people don't realize that we're a little bit a different entity than most fairs. It is a nonprofit. It is privately owned, so we are not owned by the city, or even though there's a working relationship there. The fair board, all volunteers. all of the people working so hard in the arts and crafts building this weekend, be kind to them. They are all volunteers.
Yeah, they're doing this for the love of the fair.
The whole fair is volunteer based. There's only a couple of paid employees at the fair. Everyone else does it because it's a passion for them. It's community. It's for the kids. So yes, there's definitely opportunities for volunteering out there.
So please roll up your sleeves, get involved. Always looking for more. Maybe you got kids going through FFA and 4-H, and your family's raised through the fair one way or shape or form or another. Another way to get involved is serving on that fair board. Matter of fact, Larry Hobson, our Grand Marshal. He's kind of, I got to be honest, without him and his family, what would our fair look like right now? Do you know? There's no way it would look like. We might not be doing it for all we know. You know what I mean? It's that him and his wife, his family, they've been that much a part of the fair for so long. Yes. So that's why they're honoring him this year.
Absolutely.
At the fair parade.
A lot to honor there.
Matter of fact, we may have to do like for the next 6 or 8 years just to get even.
Keep it going.
Larry Hobson again.
And once again, Larry Hobson and family. Yes.
Right. Might have to do it till like 2072 or something. But if you are interested in participating in the arts and crafts and all that, this is your weekend.
This is the weekend.
Hopefully you finish up your stitches or your shirts or whatever your project is, and let's get them turned in. Again, go to enmsf.com, download that fair book, and then you'll know all the turn-in times, turn-in rules, requirements, what's expected of you, how it needs to be presented. All of that stuff is right there.
Yep. And don't get lost. A lot of people try to come through gate 2, which is the main gate that the public would use, and that's not the one that we open for entries. Go to the very south gate. It's
the vendor's gate.
The office gate. So yes, the very south gate, the red double gate. It says arts and crafts on it, and there's handy little signs that walk you around to the arts and crafts building.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you're a vendor at the fair, generally that's the entrance you go into and things like that. And it's you kind of, the way it has a road that zips right up to the education area and all that. You just got to follow. That's why they send you that way. It's a lot easier than navigating you through the front gate of the fair and through all that mess. So go through that vendor's gate. Like Leslie said, it's the most south on Southeast Maine there. So head towards Artesia. If you get you went too far, come back.
Turn around.
You stop seeing all the tractors and things, and then there's like one more entrance south. That's the one usually. And if you by the ball field, you went north, the wrong one. You need to go the opposite direction. Yes. So, Leslie, is there anything we didn't get a chance to talk about?
I think we've covered everything. You talked about the vendors and the vendor gate. We're completely full this year. So
good.
Yes. So
I got
grounds inside everywhere.
Any brand like any ones that are new. They're like, all right, we might have because every year at the fair, there's always a few foods that are out
brand
there,
new,
or different. Was there any vendors that
I always look forward to those mini donuts. My goodness, I don't have them at all through the year, but come fair time, those mini donuts are just great. Mexican food, so many different types of Mexican food.
Well, you got like traditions, like because there's some of our traditional families that come and do their Mexican, so you kind of. So some people come out to the fairs like, I got to get so and so's enchiladas every year and things like that. So
it's
those
exciting.
Are traditional.
We always have the new ones, so you have to try those. But then we have some that have been there. This is my 16th year with the fair, and we have some that have been there years before I came there. They're like a pillar,
like a staple. Yeah, it's like, why is this my spot? This is where I go.
This is where I go. So.
As a matter of fact, those are probably some of the people that, like, when you kind of moved and redid some of that area, they were like, "What are you doing? You're moving the spot."
It's funny how territorial we get out there. I'm homesteading.
Yeah, it's like no. They start lashing themselves to trees. Yes. Hell no, we won't go.
You're not that far off.
Oh man, but I can guarantee this: the fair is going to be another fun week. It's going to be.
So excited.
It's always really the pride of Chavez County every week when it happens, and we and don't forget we are ambassadors because this is the Eastern New Mexico State Fair. We get people from all over the state.
All 33 counties are represented.
Other than the state fair, there's not a fair bigger in the state. So come on down and be a part of it.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. Well, I guess we got it all there. So
Until we come in and talk about the other things more central to like the entertainment and things like that. So there's a lot more to be said. But
go look at the entertainment page. You don't have to wait for us to talk about it next week. Go check out and you can see all. The fair does a really good job of you go see a country artist. And then, like, after you saw them at the fair, like the next year,
we are a launching pad.
they're like on every CMT channel or on every, everybody's iTunes and everything else. So.
Dustin Lynch, Kane Brown, absolutely. They came here, and the next thing you know, they're wow.
Yeah. So you want to see who blows up next? Come out to the fair,
absolutely,
here and see the entertainment.
And then parade and livestock entries, all of those entries close on the 26th.
Mm-hmm. You still got time to enter for the fair parade.
Parade, everybody's already calling to find out the lineup. So the way this works, just to help everybody out, once the deadline entry is closed, so on the 26th, we'll shut everything down. We'll download all of your entries, and then that goes to the parade committee.
Okay.
Then they will do the lineup. Then the lineup comes back to me.
Okay.
Then we post it. So
gotcha.
If you're not seeing the lineup and it is September 30th, it's October 1st, don't panic. We always have it out before the start of parade. Sometimes we cut it close, but it's always out before the parade starts.
Well, it is I know this just because I've seen it done. It's a mountain of logistics to get, because that parade is the largest parade, and usually there's over 100 entries every year, and it takes a lot of logistics to move a snake that big into order and to get it going and to do it smoothly.
And,
so
and
it
the
does take
lineup
time.
is not first come, first serve. So if you were the first one to enter, that does not mean that you are float number one.
Sure.
You have to do a lot of different things where you're not putting the bands right next to each other. You have to make sure that you don't have...
It's like a puzzle.
It is. You don't want to be the one that's marching behind the horse group.
Right.
So
don't shine your shoes for that trip.
Yeah. So the parade committee does a good job of trying to mix things up and trying to work all those things out. So it is a process and it takes time. So, but that lineup usually hits Facebook first.
Okay.
But Facebook, and again, enmsf.com, it'll be on there before the parade starts, I promise.
Absolutely. And then, of course, don't forget to get you a good spot that Monday. Anywhere between the Wool Bowl and usually right around where Sears used to be there.
Yes, the Ashley Park.
The Ashley home.
Is it Summit?
Summit. That sounds right.
So.
Yeah.
That area.
Yeah, right around that area. You get a spot anyway. The Chaves County Courthouse lawn, that's the central. That's where the judges sit. That's where if anybody's going to do a performance per se, it's going to be right there.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And parade participants, remember, the crowd loves their candy and their trinkets, and you are able to hand it to them. You are not allowed to throw it from
No. We don't want kids running out in the street to grab it, and because that's a safety hazard. We've had issues in the past. So, loved it, bringing the candy, but have people walking along the side, handing it to the kids and to the people that want it.
Absolutely. And wearing my mama hat again, if you are a team mom or somebody who has a youth entry, make sure you give them a potty break before the parade starts. It is a long route.
Unless you incorporate a porta potty in your float.
I'm not judging that.
What if you disguise it as like the Keebler treehouse or something? Why do those kids keep going to the treehouse? I gotta pee.
Perfect.
But that'll be the Monday, the day of the fair. Not this upcoming Monday, but the Monday after that.
Monday, October 3rd. And also another thing, if we have time real quick. So the official kickoff for the Eastern New Mexico State Fair is Monday, October 3rd. But now our new carnival, they've been with us for a couple of years, so shout out to Wright's Amusements. But the Friday and Saturday before the fair officially kicks off, the carnival is open. So there's not gate admission.
Okay.
You still pay for your carnival armband, but there's no gate admission.
Okay.
You come in, but it is strictly carnival. So none of the other buildings, the displays, none of that will be open to you. But Friday and Saturday, the carnival will operate.
Good deal.
So,
and I'm sure the carnival has some of their vendors for food and stuff.
Yeah. They travel with their food vendors.
Okay.
So the ones that we have that are local or come in just for us, those will not be open yet. But the ones that travel with the carnival, so you can still get your corn
chicken
dogs,
fingers and all that.
Yeah. So
chicken on a stick's one of my favorite ones that they do.
Go.
I don't know why. Chicken tastes It just tastes like fried, like a chicken strip, but when you put on a stick, it just seems to taste better. I don't know why.
I love the fair because we put everything on it.
Right. I think it just makes me happier. It's on a stick. Put all my food on a stick and I'll be happy.
And then deep fry it.
Soup on a stick. Yes. If they can fry butter, they can put soup on a stick.
Absolutely. Make it happen, vendors.
That's
Make
right.
it happen.
Good deal. So, again, go. Your best bet right now is go download and go look at the Eastern New Mexico State Fair website. Do all your research. Do all your planning and plotting on what you want to do for your week out at the fair, and then execute it here in about a week and a half or so.
Yes, absolutely.
Good deal.
All right.
Appreciate the visit. Have a great
Thank you.
weekend. I know I would say don't work too hard, but
Oh, no, there's none of
yeah, next 2 weeks.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, next 2 weeks. Like, what's daylight? I don't know what that
Right.
is. I don't
Well,
get to
thank
have
you
it.
for having me. And
Anytime.
look forward to having more of our fair
Yeah.
reps come in and talk their departments.
Absolutely. Can't wait to have another successful fair this year.
Absolutely.
Looking forward to it.
Yes,
So,
me too. Thank you.
thank you, Leslie.
Thank you.
It is 7:54. Let's pause for a quick, actually, your Wall Street business update, quick break.